Sutherland, a changing of the guard at 10 Downing Street. Outgoing Prime Minister David Cameron, who officially resigns today, addressing the British Parliament for the final time in office.
I have addressed 5,500 questions from this dispatch box. I'll leave it for others to work out how many I've answered.
Cameron to be replaced by Theresa May, and stock futures in the green the morning after the Dow's record close. Fox News, we report. You decide.
Jesse!
Let's go, guys!
Hey, did you guys know that kids who play sports earn more money when they grow up?
Of course. I knew that.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who read books have a bigger vocabulary?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Wow, jinx. Did you guys know that friendly children have more friends?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's true. I knew that. Did you guys know that winter babies are better at music?
Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
so obvious.
Oh, hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Huh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure I knew that.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75. Don't let the warm weather slow you down. Bob Wines has some great specials this week on plants that just love our Florida summer sunshine. Crepe myrtles, Bob Wines Camellia Gardens has them all, and they're all on BOGO. Buy one, get one free while they last. Bob's famous sun or shade-loving dwarf heirloom camellias, not $19.99, just $9.99. Fresh new shipment of dwarf ever-blooming azaleas, still just $2.99. Super closeouts on Canna Lily, Powder Puff, Alamanda, Lantana Gold, and many others. Are you ready for this? As low as $1. Many fruit trees are 50% off. Check the ad, bobwinescamelliagardens.net. Hurry on over. They're open till 4, Saturdays till 2 on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. Bob Wines, homegrown, locally owned, in the same place since 1952.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
The bonus of exercising at night, it's because our body uses oxygen more efficiently. Now, most of us associate dementia and Alzheimer's with memory loss, of course, but with FTD, people with this disorder start acting out and behaving in ways that are way out of character. 10-second fix for anxiety. You start thinking of or writing down as many ice cream flavors as you can think of in 10 seconds.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It's the 13th day of July. 13th, already halfway through July. That's just hard to believe.
Yeah, Christmas is coming.
Our whole world surrounds.
I know.
75 degrees. Feels like 82 right now. Mm-hmm. Expected to climb to 95 with the heat index at 110. The heat index at 110.
Okay.
The high temperature for this date in history was 1980 when it was 98 degrees. Mm-hmm. So see, we've actually cooled down. It's 3 degrees cooler. It's not global warming, it's global cooling.
There you go.
Galen Unold on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Guys, I got a news story actually about blood donations I want to ask Galen about, and then something more fun. Good morning, Galen. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Pretty good. Where are you right now?
Just dropping my son off at Trinity Catholic for football camp.
More football camp. We put yesterday's conversation, by the way, up as a podcast. We don't know.
Right.
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But I just thought yesterday's was a fun one. So there was the later topic, the fun topic, is getting out of Dodge. I don't know if you heard us talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something we all kind of maybe, I don't know if we all did or not, wanted to get out.
Oh, I do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's for the day or an hour.
Absolutely, yeah. It's why the staycation doesn't really appeal to me a whole lot, because I would go at least to Orlando, at least that far away. Anyway, there was an article in the Journal of the American Medical Association, Internal Medicine, I guess that's the whole title of the thing. It says that blood that comes from donors who are young or female may be linked to poorer outcomes in the patients who receive them. Isn't that crazy? You would think it'd be the exact opposite. Mm-hmm. The findings are based on a study of more than 30,000 transfusion patients in Canada and the more than 80,000 donors that provided the blood. The patients had an average age of 66 and were followed for between 2 and 7 years after their transfusion. Those who received red blood cells from female donors had an 8% increased risk of dying for any reason compared with recipients of male donor red cells. When researchers looked at younger donors of either sex, they also found an 8% higher risk of death among recipients of donations from people who were between 17 and 20 compared to recipients of red blood cells from donors 40 to 50. It goes on and on and on. I'm thinking, wow, this is contrary to anything we've ever heard about blood donations.
I agree with you on that. I understand the female versus the male, because the females have something called HLAs. Because when they get pregnant, they get there's another organism growing inside of their body, and that throws off a certain type of protein that can react to people who don't have those same HLAs. Now, the younger donor, we have found, and we're actually doing a study with a couple of hospitals all across the Southeast, that younger donors and younger red cells are actually more beneficial, and that's the findings that we're getting. So, I'd have to read the real footnotes of that and to see exactly how they're calculating that 8%, what percentage of the 40,000 patients were from younger donors, and what's the complications. That 8% to me could be very easily inside the window of the
error.
Call that window. The error rate. Yeah, sorry. And so I'd have to really look at the study and find out where that's coming from. So I'll have to look that up today.
So let's just assume somebody reads this article or perhaps believes something on their own. Can somebody request? Can you say, look, I'm going in for surgery. I only want blood from donors who are male, female, a certain age. Can we do that?
No, the doctor can. Okay? And so it's not uncommon for a doctor to say, so for example, and I'll give you an example. So when we're doing all of our plasma is all male plasma. So we no longer take plasma from females.
Really?
The reason for that is the HLAs that I talk about, because of those proteins and things like that. So, and that's why one of the reasons why we ask women if they've been pregnant before, for the same reason. So there are doctors who will say, okay, I need, this is exactly what I want. This is my patient. This is what I want it. But you cannot, only the doctor can decide that. It's an extremely, extremely rare occasion where you go to the specific, gender of a donor. It's very, very rare. So it's possible, but only the doctor, not the patient itself.
Wow, I never knew that. We do have a phone call. Let's take that call. Good morning. You're on the air with Galen.
Good morning, everybody. My question to you guys is what about the Zika virus? And who knows what other diseases this government of ours is allowing into this country that we don't know about or even have a name for yet? And as far as I'm concerned, the Zika virus could be possibly, would be transferable through our blood supply. I'll hang up and listen to your response. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm sure a lot of people wonder about that.
Zika's been around for over 50 years. It's not, and see, that's what what happens is a virus gets really popular, even though it's been amongst us for a long time. So we've been aware of Zika for over 50 years. It's just now emerging, and it's all about the mosquito, and that's why we have to spray for mosquitoes. And yes, Zika virus can be spread through blood transfusion. There's one case that we're aware of in the United States where that's happened. And in that instance, the donor actually had traveled to one of the countries in South America and was bitten by a mosquito, came back, and that's how they spread the disease through via blood transfusion. Now, we are in the process of testing our units for Zika. We're hoping to start that as soon as that test is available. It was just approved by the FDA last week. So we will be testing all of our units for Zika here within the next week to 30 days. It just depends on when our testing facility is up and running.
Okay, all right. And I guess the testing and the constant upgrading that you have to do over at LifeSouth is because of what's happening in the world. And when you used the word popular before, I don't know that a virus is popular, but I think what you mean is that we become more aware of it. We the people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that for me. That's exactly what it means. So there are emerging viruses that we try to stay abreast with, and there's all kinds of technology where we're trying to stay in front of that curve. So there's a lot of things that are going on within the blood industry that we're trying to do. We're trying to do something called pathogen inactivation, where it kills all the viruses within a platelet. So there's a lot, and we're going to be able to do the same thing for a red cell. So there's a lot of emerging technology that's just right around the corner.
So I wonder what the conversation.
A lot of research being put.
I wonder what the conversation is between the patient and the doctor before surgery. Does the doctor say we're going to need to give you blood? Does the patient sometimes say, I was listening to the radio on WOCA in the mornings, and I heard Galen Unold talking, and I would like to request that I get fill in the blank. I mean, whatever they decide to say based on what they believe. I wonder what that conversation would sound like. Would the doctor be replying, well, here's what people believe, and here's what I think is really true? And would the patient be able to, persuade the doctor to ask for a specific type of blood, even though the doctor might not think there was really that much difference?
I don't. You own your own body, so you have control over your own body. You have a right to refuse treatment. So, I don't know in what situation where you would go to the doctor and say, "Look, I only want this," because the only time that blood is prescribed or transfused to a patient is if they're going to die without it. So, I've never heard of that conversation taking place about that.
Well,
I've heard about it being taken place after the fact, where they want more information on why they got a blood transfusion and what that blood transfusion is and things like that. So I talk to patients after the fact, but never have I heard of one with a doctor.
There was an older man I knew, and they were visiting every summer. They were like snowbirds. I mean, every winter. And I used to, because he lived at the assisted living facility that I worked at, so I would drive him to get a blood transfusion. Was it once a month or once every 2 months?
Yeah, I think so.
And I mean, he would physically look so much better after the transfusion. There was something about his blood that he always had to get a transfusion. And whatever it was, he said there was a pill or a drug that was like $2,000 a pill. Remember he told us this?
Yeah.
And if I'm really kind of giving you vague information, and only because I don't remember it, and I don't mean to give vague information, but the way it sounded was in New York or wherever he was from, that state said you could use this pill for this purpose, and Florida says no, you can't use this pill for this purpose, or something like that. Remember? And so in New York, he would get this medicine, whether it was a pill or a shot, I don't know. And here in Florida, he would just get a transfusion. It would do the same thing. But it was night and day. I think was my point is that I would physically be able to see the difference by just taking him to the doctor and then picking him up later on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he had an anemia issue, which is just a lack of iron inside in your body, or red cells production really is what it comes down to. So, that him getting that red cell every 2 months, that makes sense because that's how long it takes them to die. He would just feel a boost of energy, and he would have all that color and be a completely different person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was probably a iron deficiency.
Let me squeeze in a phone call, and then we'll take a break and do the getting out of Dodge part of this conversation. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. When my husband was going to have back surgery, I donated blood, and we were both O positive. And he requested, that he get my blood, and they said they couldn't guarantee that. Not at all, not at all.
Oh, really?
So I'm just wondering why.
Right.
And I didn't get an answer then.
Okay, that's a good question.
I can break this down. And again, there's a lot of confusion about this. It's if you want to donate for another person specifically, that's called a directed donation. And in order to do that, people just think, well, we're the same blood type, then I can get their blood. It's not that simple. There's a lot more to a cross match than that. And so in order to find out if one human being's compatible with another, you have to do pre-testing. And they don't always have time for that. So in order to do that, you have to go to the blood center. You can come to LifeSouth. You have to get a prescription from your doctor, and not all doctors believe in directed donations. So if your doctor's like, you know what, that's not something I want to do because, I just don't think it's a valid practice, and it just adds a lot of costs to the unit itself, so I don't want to bother with it. They can do that, but you have to have a doctor's prescription. You take that prescription, that order is sent over to the blood center, and then we compile a list of the units and the donors who are going to give to this patient, and then we pre-test them. Then we collect the unit, then we store it separately. It's segregated from the rest of the blood supply. And then we make sure that it's in place within, we try to make sure it's in place within 12 hours of your procedure. And then if that person doesn't use it, then we release it to the general blood supply. But there is an added cost that is not covered by insurance and will come out of your pocket. So it's not, directed donation is not covered by any insurance. And there's a lot of doctors who don't feel that it's actually a good idea. So there could be a complication, and now you know the person who got the unit. There's some outstanding issues there.
Wow, so much more to it than if like just the average person wouldn't have any idea of all the information associated with this profession that you
absolutely. And I deal with these every day, and so I actually try to talk people out of doing a directed donation. I tell them, look, donate for the general blood supply, but you're going to you could add $1,500 to $2,000 to your bill. And the unit is tested the same way, no matter who you get it from.
Mm-hmm.
It goes through the exact same testing. So, and you're more likely to get a more compatible unit from someone you don't know, unless it's your brother or your sister. But your husband or wife, they may be a less compatible unit.
Galen, what is
parents just so you know, parents are very rarely a match for their child.
Really?
Because their child has two different forms of your DNA. They only have half your DNA, and the other half is from a loved one, or it's from their mom, or their dad. And so, because of that, they're very rarely compatible.
Interesting.
What is the state of the blood supply right now? What do we need to know about today?
We had a great day yesterday at LifeSouth. Thank you, Jan, and all your team.
Did you go? Did you get over there?
Yeah. I met her. I told her I existed.
Did you get a picture?
But right now we have just over a 3-day blood supply. Had a really strong day yesterday, so we're starting to build that supply back up. And so just continue to give the gift of life and donate blood.
And we need to thank Palm Garden and Penn Flooring. Today we had a nice big hunk of information from Galen regarding blood supplies. And again, Palm Garden and Penn Flooring are the two companies we thank for sponsoring the opportunity for us to be able to do that as a radio station. Galen, of course, being the go-to expert on the subject. Palm Garden of Ocala is a health and rehabilitation center at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. Their website is palmgardenofocala.com. Give them a call at 854-6262. Take a tour. See for yourself why people are choosing this facility for their skilled nursing needs, their long-term care needs, their respite needs, their rehabilitation needs, etc. And they've got a wonderful culinary department. Gosh, a sweet lady, too. Wasn't her name Wendy?
Yes,
Wendy was the head of
She's
culinary
Chef
over
Wendy.
there. They have some high-tech equipment. We've got a lady coming in tomorrow to talk about this.
Yep.
The pretty lady, right? They're all pretty. Everybody's a pretty lady. Everybody's a pretty lady.
They are.
Yeah. I don't want to slide anybody. But this is a
Keep
pretty.
digging that hole, Larry.
I know, but this is a pretty lady. All right, and then and what else? It's just a great place. Just go to Palm Garden, and Penn Flooring. Don't forget Penn Flooring. They put down the flooring here at WOCA, and it is rugged. It is durable. It cleans real easy, and whether it's the carpet or the wood flooring, it just simply looks nice. So go to Penn Flooring and find some new flooring for your home or your office. Their website is pennflooring.com, and their location is 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the McKay-Williams Bridge, a few blocks from Pine Avenue. All right, let's take a little break, tiny break. And when we come back, we will have a conversation about getting out of Dodge, getting out of town, moving out of town, or just taking a break from town. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident on this Wednesday. Sunshine mixing with clouds with a thunderstorm around, but mainly dry near the coast. The high 91 to 95. It'll be partly cloudy Wednesday night, low 74 to 78. Thursday and Friday will be hot with sunshine and some clouds and a thunderstorm around each afternoon, although mainly dry along the coast each day. High both days between 91 and 95. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Palm Garden is proud to announce the next Chats at the Garden on Tuesday, July 19th from 4 to 5 p.m. Rocky Ramirez from Regions Bank will be the guest speaker, and his topic will be identity theft and how to avoid scams to protect your assets. Seating is limited, so RSVP for Tuesday, July 19th, Chats at the Garden by calling 854-6262. That's 854-6262. Palm Garden is located at the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and Southwest 34th Street.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
All right, 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, Galen Unold on the phone. The temperature right now here at the Paddock Mall, 75 degrees, and the heat index, 82 degrees. It's kind of pointless to give the heat index, isn't it? I just like it. It's like the wind chill factor in the winter. All right, getting out of Dodge or getting out of town. I was reading an article that said the two times in our lives, in America anyway, when we're most likely to leave the town we grew up in or the region we grew up in is directly after high school and directly after retirement. And it makes sense. A lot of people stay around until they're out of high school. But the thing is this, they're always anxious to get out. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is they move to places and those people are anxious to get out. Everybody's always anxious to get out of their own town.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange? Like in Galen, in your case, I mean, you're living in the town you grew up in, which is wonderful. And especially...
Yeah, but I had to leave. I mean, I left 18 days after graduation. I mean, I went in the Navy, and then I never intended to live in Ocala. It was never my intention.
Oh, really? You didn't intend to?
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I love Ocala. I mean, it's my home. But I lived in a lot of places before I came home.
And that's what happens a lot too. I think people move away, and then at one point in their life, they decide to go back to wherever they started.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm amazed. You know, I read a study a couple of years ago about the number of people that never leave the town in which they grew up in, and that they never live more than 30 miles from their birthplace home.
Really?
And I was amazed by that. I'm like, I can't. I think it's really important that you get out there and you define who you are, not based on what people thought who you were when you were in high school, for instance, or even who your family thinks you are on a day in, day out basis. You have to go out there and find yourself. I mean, you went to L.A., you know, Robin's from Wisconsin. You have to go out and find yourself, and that means you have to leave the nest. And if you never leave the nest, then you can't really define who you are, I believe.
The one thing I remember from being out in LA was this story here. I was only 22 years old, and I was working at this pizza place, and there was a young guy in there, and he was, I don't know if he was in high school, but he was, you know, rather young. And he said, "I can't wait to get out of LA. I hate it here." And I'm thinking, "You hate it here? I love it here. How can you hate it here?" It just never occurred to me that somebody living someplace that I thought was so great would want to get away from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I agree with it. I tell my boys all the time, I'm like, you're not staying in Ocala. You can come back, but you are going somewhere else. You've got to go out and experience the world. There's so many great things out there, and you cannot experience it just sitting at home. So
do you have what is considered wanderlust? You always want to go out somewhere, like once a year, twice a year?
I did when I was younger, but now I like coming home. I mean, I like going on my trips, but I like experiencing things with my kids. But no, I think I've been to like 30 different countries. I've been to, over 35 states. I've seen the world. I did all that when I was young. And I have no problem just sitting at home. So, yeah, I sowed my wild oats, I guess.
And what about not the long-term departure from your hometown, but just the short-term departure? This is kind of how the whole conversation started.
I have to get out. I have to. If I don't see the ocean once a month, I start getting a little stir crazy. So
it's important.
That's true. My wife is the same way. It's we'll look at each other and like, I just got to go to the beach this weekend, and we'll just go.
Yeah.
We may go for an hour and a half, but we just got to go. That's where I find peace, is staring at the ocean.
Yeah, I believe your wife on her Facebook page posted a picture of the ocean, and I think the caption was, "Hello, old friend." And I found it. "Oh, hey, beautiful, I'm home," she wrote.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a picture.
Yeah, it's to me the ocean represents everything that I love. So I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Do you feel at home?
There's a lot of people who come out of there are a lot of people when they get out of the Navy, they don't ever want to see the ocean again, and I never. And I told my wife, I said, I am never living further away from the ocean than I am right now, because to me it's too far away.
That's the way I feel too.
Isn't that crazy?
That's the way I feel too. I feel like if somebody said to me, "Where would you prefer to live, in the mountains, or," because I love the mountains too, "or near the beach?" I think I'd like to live near the ocean and visit in the mountains.
I don't like the mountains. I'm not a mountain guy.
Oh, really?
I care about the forest.
It's so beautiful.
I don't like to camp. Yeah, I can appreciate the beauty, but I don't have to. But to me, if I see a picture of the mountain, that's good enough. Seeing the picture of the ocean isn't. Is that? I don't know. I'm not judging people who like mountains. I just don't. It's like a cat versus dog thing.
All right, we got 20 seconds. Where's the Bloodmobile today?
Today we're at Planet Fitness on Mary Camp Road, and I would encourage anybody who has any questions about donation or a directed donation, if one of their loved ones is going through this process, call me. I'll gladly talk to you about it. I can be reached at 352-224-1620. Call me.
All right.
We'll talk about it, and I'll give you some advice, or just listen to you.
Great opportunity. Great offer. All right, Galen, have a great day. Thank you for what you do and for being on the air with us each morning.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, guys.
All
Bye,
right,
all.
we'll be right back.
Club. He's leading Clinton 42 to 39%. That's a stark contrast from just a month ago when Clinton was ahead in Florida by 8 points. The poll suggests Clinton has taken a hit in grades on honesty and moral standards. In Pennsylvania, Trump has a 2-point lead, and they're tied in Ohio.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. A changing of the guard at 10 Downing Street. Outgoing Prime Minister David Cameron, who officially resigns today, addressing the British Parliament for the final time in office.
I have addressed 5,500 questions from this dispatch box. I'll leave it for others to work out how many I've answered.
Cameron to be replaced by Theresa May, and stock futures in the green the morning after the Dow's record close. Fox News, we report. You decide.
Go, Caleb! Come on, hit a homer, Jesse!
Let's go, guys!
Hey, did you guys know that kids who play sports earn more money when they grow up?
Of course. I knew that.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who read books have a bigger vocabulary?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Wow, Jinx. Did you guys know that friendly children have more friends?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's true. I knew that. Did you guys know that winter babies are better at music?
Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
obvious.
Oh, hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Huh. I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure I knew that.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
RL here to tell you how to deal with this heat wave. Get on down to Dairy Queen at Silver Springs. They have a blizzard waiting for you to cool off with. What a great treat in many different flavors. Or get one of our juicy char-grilled burgers with the #1 rated milkshake in America. So come on down to Dairy Queen at Silver Springs, where we always